Hi, friends. I think it's safe to say that there are few things worse than chronic low back pain and sciatic pain. Unfortunately, it's so common. So many of us suffer with chronic low back pain and sciatic pain. I did for years, and it's one of my missions in life to help you with these issues. The stretches, the exercises, and the mindful movement in today's yoga practice have helped me personally with my own chronic battles with low back pain and sciatic pain, and I offer them up to you because I believe that they can help you too. Before we begin, if you enjoy my classes, please click the subscribe button, click the like button, and please also consider becoming a Patreon member. Patreon is vital in giving me the support that I need to make these videos. And it gets you access to special content like 1-hour classes, live streams, and a really amazing book club. It's a great community. If you're already a member, thank you so much. And if not, I welcome you to come check it out. For today's practice, we're going to be using a few props. So I recommend 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use boxes or books, and a bolster. Bolster is like a long cushion. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a couple firm pillows or cushions, okay? Let's go ahead and put those off to the side for now. And one more disclaimer before we start. So today's practice is about preventing and relieving low back pain and sciatic pain. If you have been diagnosed with a specific condition, if you have had surgery, if there are any questions at all around the pain that you're experiencing, it's always best to see a doctor first. If you do choose to practice with me today, please listen to your body. If anything feels painful or unreasonable in your body, stop. Skip that exercise or movement, okay? Listen to your body. Let's be safe. All right, let's begin in child's pose with our bolster. So it's a supported child's pose. And again, if you don't have a bolster, you can use pillows or cushions here. Bring your big toes to touch. Take your knees wide on your mat, and then place your bolster so that it supports you, your upper body and your chest as you come down to lay on the bolster. Reach your hands out, turn a cheek, and as you exhale, just come down and rest your chest and your cheek. Breathe. Start to relax into your breath. And sink your hips back to your heels. This is a really wonderful lengthening and welcoming of space into the low back and into the hips. And so as you breathe, feel the breath traveling all the way down to the low back, to the hips. And with each exhale, just relax more and more. And feel the muscles of your face, your cheeks and jaw softening, relax. Relax your eyes. With every exhale, feel any tension and tightness in the face, the neck, and shoulders start to melt away, dissolve into the breath. Now let's begin our class with some words of affirmation to set the intention for our practice and to welcome a healing and restorative energy into our bodies. I'll say these words out loud and you say them silently to yourself. Here we go. May I be happy and healthy in my body and mind. May I be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May this practice nurture and restore every part of me. And may I be a light that shines bright today. Let's take a few more moments and just soak this moment up. Soak these words up into your heart, into your bones. As you inhale, blink your eyes open. Sit back to your heels. Place your bolster off to the side and grab your blocks. We're going to work into a block-assisted puppy pose. Really great stretch for your shoulders and your whole back. Upper back, middle back, low back. It's good stuff. Okay, so grab your blocks and put them on the lowest setting. So the height is the lowest setting, right? And then position yourself so your hips are stacked over your knees, right? And try to keep your hips relatively over the knees. Not too far forward, not too far back. Keeping the hips in that position, reach your hands out, scoot the blocks up as far as you can. And as you exhale with your hands on the blocks, begin to let your heart melt down toward the mat. And you may need to push the blocks forward a little bit to keep them positioned under the hands. Remember, hips are over the knees, or in line with the knees. And you can come down here to bring your head to rest softly on the mat or a pillow if that feels better. Or you can take it even deeper by looking forward and letting your chest come all the way down and rest on the mat or a pillow under your chest. Do what feels comfortable and nice to your shoulders, right? Be kind to yourself here. Just relax into it. We're opening and extending the back. So the upper back, the mid back, and the lower back. It's the opposite shape from sitting and hunching over. And you'll notice the shape a lot today, this arched, extended back. It's so therapeutic for the whole spine, but the low back especially. Of course, this is getting into your shoulders as well, so just relax into that. And as you inhale, bring your forehead down to the mat and very carefully take one hand off the block and the other hand off the block. Come down. Sink your hips back to your heels, child's pose. And then bringing your forehead down to the mat, sweep both hands back behind you, palms facing up. And just rest here with the arms back in child's pose for a few more breaths. Okay. Sit back to your heels. You can place the blocks off to the side. Let's come into tabletop, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Curl your toes under and lift your hips. Downward dog. Let's take a few breaths here to refamiliarize yourself with downward dog. You can play with the hand and foot position a little bit, pedal the feet to get a nice stretch up and down the back of the legs. And coming to stillness, bring your feet together and take your right foot back and up to the sky, three-leg dog. Really push through the right heel to lengthen through the leg. Exhale, right knee into the chest, shift forward and step through between your hands. Bring the back knee down and rise up with your hands on your hips. So position the hips so they're stacked over that back knee and scoot your front foot several inches forward. Keeping your chest square to the front wall, push the upper body forward little by little until that front knee comes over the front ankle, and you should feel a nice stretch in front of that left hip. Now, to deepen that a little bit more, hands on the hips, tilt the bowl of the pelvis up. So the front points of the hips lift up, the tailbone lengthens down. Feel that. Breathe into that. You can push through the top of that back foot too to accentuate. Breathe. This is really good. Feel all that length opening up in the low back and the hip flexor stretch. Great for the low back as well. Inhale, sweep the hands up to the sky. Right hand grabs that left wrist and reach up and over to the right, getting even deeper into that hip flexor stretch. Inhale, release the wrist, both hands to the sky. Great big breath. Open mouth, exhale, bend the elbows. Push the heart to the sky. Squeeze the shoulders behind you. Blink your eyes open. Move your upper body back so the hips are back over that back knee. Front knee over the front ankle. And then swivel the back knee so that the left foot faces off the left side of the mat. Sink your hips toward that back heel and reach off the left side of the mat at an angle. Exhale as you sink your hips back toward that back heel. Breathe into the stretch in the right hip. Feel that length in the low back and the space opening up in the hips. You can let that right knee fall open to the right a little bit if that feels good. Just breathe into the places you feel sensation. And as you inhale, rise up, extend that right leg long, turn the toes in, left hand to the mat behind you and reach your right hand up and over, reaching behind you. Lift the right leg and create a long straight line from the right fingertips through the right toes. And now let's do some little leg lifts or pulse-ups with that right leg to strengthen the right glute. So lifting, pulsing up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift and hold, breathe, and exhale. Bring that right foot down. Rise up, right hand to the thigh, left hand to the sky. Reach up and over, gate pose. And as you exhale, let that right hand slide down toward the right shin. So now this is a great stretch in the low back on the left side, the QL muscle, quadratus lumborum. We're also getting into the obliques here. Breathe into that side body stretch. Inhale, turn to face forward, bend into the front knee, hands come down and step the left foot back. Low lunge and step your front foot back, plank pose. Let's hold plank for a few breaths to wrap the elbows in and firm up your belly. So draw the navel gently into the spine and we come down to the forearms for forearm plank. Spread your fingers wide, push into the forearms, the elbows, the palms, and imagine your spine getting really long, your whole body getting long here. So the crown of your head is reaching forward as your heels are reaching backward. And now firm everything between the knees and the ribs. So firm up your thighs, engage your glutes, squeeze your butt a little bit gently, and draw the navel into the spine, feeling the core muscles, the ab muscles engage. Push into the elbows and forearms and hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, let the thighs and the hips come down. Untuck the toes for a little sphinx pose. So position the elbows underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers wide, lift your heart, and imagine gripping the mat here and pulling the mat towards you as you push your heart forward and draw the shoulders back. So it's like an isometric stretch. Isometric means the hands aren't moving, but you're energetically pulling the hands towards you as you push the heart forward. And this has the effect of lengthening the spine. This is also a really healthy compression in the low back. Again, notice a shape. We're reversing, hunching forward, sitting down. One more breath. Exhale, slowly come down. Make a little pillow with your hands. Rest your head on the pillow or rest a cheek. Bend your knees and let your feet wash back and forth here. Even this washing, this windshield wiper motion is a nice release in the low back. Okay, bring your feet down. Bring your hands back next to your ribs. We're going to work from cobra into seal pose or toward seal pose, okay? So elbows wrap close to your sides. And now imagine, before we push up, imagine getting really long. So the crown of your head reaching forward, or your forehead rather, and your toes, really stretch your toes straight back. Now push into the heels of the hands, lift the heart. And again, imagine pulling the mat towards you, pushing your heart forward, and drawing the shoulders back. And breathe into that for a moment. Now, if it feels good in your body, you can push up a little bit more. And again, pull the mat towards you, push the heart forward, and keep on doing that little dance. Lifting, and then moving heart forward, shoulders back, little by little, until you find your maximum height, where this feels like a good stretch, but it still feels good. Don't push yourself into a place of pain or discomfort here. Feel that beautiful opening, the lengthening, and just stay up as long as feels good in your body. If you're done, you can come back, make a little pillow with the hands, wash your feet back and forth. And exhale, slowly come down. And again, make a pillow here, bend the knees, and wash the feet back and forth. So that's those two in succession, Sphinx pose and that last one, cobra into seal, are really, really wonderful. But you have to watch it. You have to be careful you're not pushing yourself too much. Just a little consistently is way more effective than pushing yourself to extremes all at once. Okay. Let's come back to child's pose. Knees wide, big toe mounds touch. Let your forehead come down, kiss the mat. We'll take a few breaths here. Again, send your breath into your low belly, into your low back, and into the hips. Inhale, come forward, tabletop, curl your toes, lift your hips, and push back, downward dog. Walk your hands slowly back to your feet. Bend into your knees and wave up to a standing position. So let the upper body kind of hang softly forward. As you inhale, rise up. Palms meet at your heart here. We're going to do some wave squats, I call these. And they just feel really good. Inhale, reach up to the sky. As you exhale, bring the palms down to your heart. Begin to bend into your knees, but keep your spine nice and tall. So you're not bending forward, coming all the way down into a deep squat. And then at the bottom, you roll forward and wave back up to standing on the inhale. Reach into the sky, palms meet. Exhale, hands to heart as you bend into the knees. Continuing to be nice and tall through the spine, and then bow forward, roll up. We're going to do this with the breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, come down and wave it up as you inhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come down. Notice my spine is upright as I come all the way down, and I don't fold forward until the bottom here. So we're strengthening the glutes We're strengthening and opening the hips here. And we're welcoming breath and space and vitality and strength into the area of the hips and the low back. One more time. This time, roll yourself up, hands to the hips, and let's work into tree pose. So, sole of the left foot inside that right thigh. Palms come to your heart. And you could also place the left foot on the right calf or even on the ground by the ankle, anywhere but the knee. Relax the shoulders and breathe. If you feel unstable here, you're falling over. That's okay. Give yourself some love and compassion, right? Sometimes balance is tricky. It's funny. Breathe. Root into the earth with the four corners of that standing foot and rise up through the center line of the body, through the crown of the head, through the fingertips. Breathe, stretch. Exhale, curtsy, left knee behind the right. Wing the arms back. Inhale, step tall at the back of the mat. Palms meet for a moment and then open the wings and take a bow. Hands to the mat. Walk your hands forward. Back to downward dog. Feet together and take your left heel up to the sky, nice and high. Really lengthen through the back of that leg. Exhale, knee to chest and step. Left foot through between your hands. Back knee comes down and rise up, hands to your hips. Again, position the hips over that back knee. Crawl your front foot forward several inches. And then move the upper body forward, chest facing forward, until the front knee comes over that front ankle and you feel a juicy stretch in front of the right hip. Now let's deepen. Tilt the bowl of the pelvis up, lengthen the tailbone down, push gently into the top of the back foot. Ooh. Yeah, I feel that. That's good. Breathe into that. Notice when you tilt the pelvis up and the tailbone lengthens down, you feel that space open up in the low back. That's so good. Keeping that, inhale, reach hands to the sky. Left hand grabs the right wrist and take it up and over to the left. Really deepening into the right hip flexor here. Breathe into that. Inhale, rise, release the wrist, big breath, open mouth, exhale, bend the elbows, push the heart to the sky. Blink the eyes open, move your hips back over the knee, front ankle under the front knee, and then swivel the back knee so the right foot is off the left side of the mat. As you sink your hips toward that back heel, reach your hands off the right side of the mat at an angle. And allow yourself to melt into this stretch slowly. Again, the left knee may want to open up to the left a little bit here, and that's fine. Breathe into the left hip. Breathe into the low back. Just welcome all of this space. Your low back may not know what to do. We're sitting and scrunching and hunching so much. And now we're doing the opposite of all of that in many ways, anatomically, physiologically. And then inhale. Rise up, extend that left leg long, turn the toes in, right hand to the mat, and the left hand reach up and over behind you. Lift the left leg, and again, create that long straight line from left toes to left fingertips, and let's pulse the left leg up, pulsing it up, working the left glute, working the hip abductors for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift it, reach and stretch and breathe. Exhale, lower that foot, rise up. Left hand to the thigh and the right hand to the sky. Reach up and over. Exhale as you let that left hand slide down the left leg, getting deeper into the stretch on the right side. Gaze to the lifted fingers. Inhale, bend into that front knee, turn to face forward, hands to the mat, and step the right foot back. And now step that front foot back as well into plank pose. Once again, firm up the belly and come down to the forearms for forearm plank. Give yourself a nice base here. Spread the fingers wide, push into the elbows and forearms. And again, lengthen, crown of head and forehead reaching forward. And imagine the heels reaching back so the body is lengthening. Firm the thighs, engage your butt muscles, your glutes, gently, not squeezing so hard, but just gentle squeeze. And the core and belly muscles as well. Draw the navel into the spine. And don't let your butt sag here. Kind of dome the upper back a little bit. And breathe and hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Let the hips and thighs come down. Untuck the toes. Beautiful work. Right into sphinx pose. Elbows underneath the hips. Spread the fingers wide, lift the heart, and imagine pulling that mat towards you as you push the heart forward, and the shoulders, well, they just come back as you open across the heart and the collarbone. Imagine the heart moving forward to create space and opening and length in the spine. And that gentle compression in the low back here is really, really wonderful because, again, it's the opposite of hunching. So a lot of times if we sit too much or hunch forward too much, the front of the disc material can get pinched. So now we're reversing that and pushing the disc material back into the middle of the vertebrae where it belongs. Exhale, slowly come down, make a pillow for your hands, bend your knees, and wash the feet back and forth. Extend the legs long. Bring your hands next to your chest here. Now, if last time this was uncomfortable, don't push it so high, or just do another sphinx pose here. Okay. Inhale, push up gently. Just come to a reasonable small lift here. Grip the mat. Imagine pulling the mat towards you, pushing the heart forward, drawing the shoulders back. And if that feels okay, you can try pushing up a little bit more. And you just go little by little until you find that place of maximum benefit, which still feels easeful. Maximum benefit is not painful. This is not a game of no pain, no gain, my friends. If you feel pain, stop. Go back. Be gentle. Go slow. And keep pulling, imagine pulling those hands towards you to lengthen through the spine as you push at the same time. Again, whenever you're done, come down, make a pillow with the hands. Let your feet wash back and forth. And exhale, slowly come down. Give yourself a pillow to rest. Bend the knees and just wash. Just wash. Just breathe. Feet come down. I never want to stop that. Hips to heels, child's pose. Take your knees wide and just take the hips back to the heels, nice and slow and gentle. Reach your hands forward. Let the forehead come down to the mat. Breathe and relax. Feel the safety and the security and the strength of the earth beneath you. Tap into that grounding, centering energy. And come forward, tabletop, curl the toes, lift the hips. Downward dog, walk your hands slowly back to your feet. Bend into the knees, let the upper body softly hang forward as we rise to standing. Big breath, reach up to the sky. Let's do some more of those squat waves. Palms come down, and as the palms come down to the heart, bend into the knees. But keep your back upright here, all the way to the bottom, and then fold forward. Wave it up. Exhale, come down, fold at the bottom, and wave it up on the inhale. Exhale nice and tall through the spine, folding at the bottom. Rise and wave. Moving with the breath here. See if you can tap into a sense of ease and grace and fluid motion. One more time, rise. One more time, down. And I lied, one more time, rise. We got to come back up, right? Hands back to the hips, and let's do tree pose on the left leg, standing. Right foot. Again, you can come into the right or the left thigh, the left calf, or like a kickstand all the way down at the bottom on the ground. That's totally cool, folks. Do what feels nourishing to you, right? Nurturing. And just breathe and relax. Fix your gaze on something steady and stable ahead. Rooting through the earth, sweep your hands up to the sky and imagine growing roots, strong and stable, reaching all your branches up to the sky, your leaves in the sunlight, soaking it up for 3, 2, 1. Curtsy. Right knee behind the left, wing it back. Inhale, step tall, reach into the sky, palms meet, and let's slice right down through the center. Take a bow. Inhale, walk your hands back. 2, downward dog. Take a great big breath. Open mouth, exhale. Let's come down to your knees and grab your bolster. We're going to end with some glorious hip stretches here. Pigeon pose. And pigeon pose, for me, I think it's one of, if not the most effective and most efficient hip stretch, because it's just, you get so much for your money. You're getting both hips, different parts of the hips. And whenever you stretch your hips, folks, it's good news for your low back. Your low back is happy. Okay, so position your bolster or your pillows in between your left hand and your left knee. Come up to downward dog. Feet together, take that left foot up to the sky. And as you exhale, sweep the left foot forward behind the right wrist and lay the whole entire left thigh bone on that cushion, all the way from the knee back to the hips, the sit bone. Now, the angle of the foot here, the more you bring that foot forward, the deeper the stretch is going to be. So you angle this foot appropriately so this feels good in your body, reasonable. And then you can use a block as a little rest for your forehead and come down slowly, slowly. Reach your hands, get a nice stretch through the arms and upper body. And just allow yourself to melt slowly, breathing into the left hip. And then when you find your maximum or fullest expression here, let your forehead come down to the block and just rest, just breathe. As you inhale, slowly walk your hands back towards you. Place the block off to the side. And come back to tabletop here. And just move the bolster out of the way for a moment. And lift up that left knee out to the left and make some big circles with that knee. The hip joint is the center of the circle. Any direction to start, and then opposite way. We're just working any residual tension out of the hip. And come back down to tabletop. Okay, let's do the other side. Bolster in between the right knee and the right hand. Come up to downward dog, feet together. Right foot to the sky, and as you exhale, sweep that right foot behind the left wrist, laying the whole right thigh bone down. And again, adjust the angle here and level out the hips, okay? So hips are squarely facing forward. That left leg is straight back, top of the left foot on the mat. And very slowly begin to fold forward. Grab your block as a pillow. I really like to take my time coming down here, breath by breath. And again, finding that fullest expression, relax into it. Inhale, slowly walk your hands back towards you, block off to the side. Come back to tabletop. Move your bolster off to the side as well. Lift your right knee out to the side, and let's take some big yawning circles with that knee. Again, any direction. We'll switch it up opposite way. Such a good practice. All right, let's take child's pose for just a few breaths here. Knees wide, big toes to touch. Reach your hands forward. Let the forehead come down. Kiss the mat. Relax. Breathe. May I be happy and healthy in my body and mind. May I be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May this practice restore and renew every part of me, and may I be a bright, shining light today. Sit back to your heels, sweep your legs around in front of you. So grateful to share this practice with you. Truly, I am. Feels good to be with you today. Draw your knees into your chest. Nice little hug, a little rock side to side here. Let's go back and forth. Extend that right leg. Squeeze the left thigh into your belly. And then right knee comes in. Just go back and forth a few times here. And let's end up with happy baby. Feet up in the air. Grab the outside edges of the feet. Allow your feet to open as wide as they want to. And then gently pull down on the feet, very gently. Knees angling in toward the armpits so that your low back is coming down toward the mat. Your shoulders are coming down to rest on the mat. And your whole spine is supported here on the mat. Just breathe into that beautiful opening. Let's take one great big breath. Open mouth, exhale. Release your feet, and we'll find Shavasana together. Bring some movement into your fingers and your toes. Roll your wrists and ankles. Inhale, reach your hands overhead and stretch from fingers to toes. Great big breath. Exhale, knees into chest. And roll to your right side. Push yourself up to a seat at the top of your mat. And bring your palms together at your heart. Close your eyes. Let's raise our thumb knuckle to the point between our brow. And we bow to one another in light and love. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me, sharing this time with me. I hope that you feel a little more spacious and easeful in your back. This is a practice you can keep coming back to for relief and prevention. I do some, if not all, of these exercises every single day in my daily practice, and so I'm so happy and honored to share them with you in the hopes that they'll help you too. Love you lots, and I'll see you soon.